Mexican restaurant, happy hour, across the street from her sister's little beach house in Hawaii, in Kauai. Her sister's taking a nap. We ordered a margarita for happy hour, and we had chips sitting in front of us, and we were like, we have Spritz and chips in front of us right now. Let's do it and see what happens. So,
we're back.
Welcome back to another episode of Spritz and Chips.
Woo! Oh, perfect. The lights came on. Perfect.
So yeah, we're back and...
Oh wait, oh my god, for everyone that's new and has no idea what the hell this segment is, it's called Spritz and Chips, and let me make a really brief summary of what it is. Basically think of like a podcast. It's just open forum. We talk about different topics every week. Well, we're gonna try to do it every week, and we always have cocktails and a snack because we started it when we got back from Italy.
Then in Italy they would have Aperol Spritz and like some kind of finger food, like a chip. So we were like, let's have a cocktail and some kind of like finger food. We call it Spritz and Chips, where we just like hang out and chat with you guys. So, welcome back to episode 3, I think.
I think it's 4. We did do 3. We did the very first one, then we did all about career, and then we did about relationship and adulting. Anyway.
Joya's lips keep swelling up, and it keeps like moving different places. It was in her cheek like the other day.
So weird. Okay.
But anyways, Joy and I, actually before we turned on the camera, we were just talking about Vlogmas and what a we were talking about Vlogmas and what a fun time we had.
So fun.
And like it was very, very busy, and like we were definitely exhausted, and that's why we ended up in Hawaii after a long month of work. But
we needed the extreme rest.
We needed some rest for sure. But we are very thankful for it, and we had the best time with each other doing it.
And getting to know everybody, it was so fun.
Like the best takeaway in my mind was becoming known, like making who we are known in a more profound way, because like you were spending like each day with us, but also like
I feel like getting to know each other.
A lot of the questions we'd ask from like the giveaways and like what do you do and like who's our audience and what do you want to see, and it was really nice to see y'all's responses, and like thank you so much for everyone who participated and really like gave us the chance to get to know us, but also like open yourself up to let us get to know you as well.
It made it more fun, having like all the interaction. It was a blast.
Yeah.
We really appreciate all the love and support on Vlogmas, and we're so excited to continue vlogging throughout the year. I think we haven't announced.
We haven't, but we are on the Spritz and Chips.
Might as well now, just announce it.
One thing we've been keeping it quiet and kind of a surprise is that moving forward,
since everybody didn't want Vlogmas to end, and neither did we, honestly,
we decided to not continue Vlogmas, but continue the style of Vlogmas for the rest of the year.
A little bit each month. We're basically going to do a vlog week. It'll be like a mini Vlogmas each month. So it'll be 1 week of daily vlogging for every single day.
Yep. And we still might have weekly vlogs, like sprinkled in here and there, because we definitely like the style of weekly vlogs as well, just kind of like a recap of our week. But each month we're going to have a vlog week where we vlog for every single day, an entire week, once a month.
Yeah. So let us know what you think below. So we are pulling up one of our videos from Vlogmas, and you guys left topics for Spritz and Chips, so we're gonna go through a few. So we've got, how do you balance your marriage, work, and YouTube?
The answer?
You want me to answer?
I'll do it.
Yeah, whatever.
I think we're both gonna have things
we'll both have things to say.
But life balance is something that I think everybody struggles with no matter what you're doing.
Yes.
I think it's like,
just do your best.
You do your best to do the things that you desire to do. And for us, like our marriage, we balance it because one, we're like just happy. Like we don't fight a lot. We get along pretty well. We do bicker, but it's like usually pretty constructive afterward. Like we learn a lot from our arguments.
Yeah, we don't have any like real dividing
We don't have like
issues.
beef or nothing. We're not like mad at each other.
Or deep issues that are deal breakers, or else we probably wouldn't be married.
Yeah, and we like communicate. Like we sometimes get passionate in our discussions about certain things because like we're working through something together, but it's not ever like a fight. It's just like a passionate like discussion. Somewhat argumentative, you know, it could be, but I don't
We
know.
have like probably get in like bickers and like arguments every day for sure.
We try to make like afterward they turn into like funny or
Yeah, they're funny or they're just like.
or sometimes we bicker just because we're like annoyed at each other.
We just do everything together. I don't know. That's I feel like how we balance, I guess, our time is like we just really like spending time together and we do everything together.
And we both have like a similar setup with our jobs where we're both working from home. We're gonna do a married morning routine here soon.
Yeah.
And you'll see that like we just wake up, we shower, we split apart after coffee and like go to our offices and work all day. And we haven't really showed much of that like on Vlogmas and stuff like that. Like when we'd be working, we'd be pretty like heads down working on our jobs, but we are kind of on the same page with everything. So we wake up, we shower,
Exactly.
we have our coffee, we go to work, and we work all day until lunchtime. We have some lunch, and like we're just on the same schedule.
And I feel like we're both like equally driven. We're both like equal on like so many levels that it keeps things simple, and we're both on the same page for everything. So that's just how we keep things balanced. I would say part of that is probably because we got married young, and so we've just like grown together versus like growing into our own people and then meeting each other later. That would be really hard, I think.
We matured. Sometimes like I used to think of it as like a downfall that like we were maturing so much together as we were like graduated college. Like we were really maturing together, and I used to fear like, oh, maybe we didn't mature like on our own enough. But you just do it in like a way that you mold into one kind of. Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Totally. But I would say for balancing work and YouTube and marriage. So marriage I think is easy. Like we're just like there for each other and we just know like what's being done, and if one of us gets overwhelmed, we're there for each other. It's like a mutual understanding. I don't know, I can't describe that. But in terms of work and YouTube, honestly, I don't know if we've necessarily found that balance yet. Right now we're like really aggressively working like a lot, and
I'd say we're balancing it well, but we're just like, I think working a lot, so it's hard to it's hard to view that as a balance, but it's because we're busy.
Well, and I'd be interested to hear what you have to say on this, but if you guys watch my morning routine, one thing that's really helped me with like getting really busy and a lot on my plate is like at the beginning of each day writing out a schedule, or even like Google Calendar of like all the things that I need to do. And even if it's like grocery shopping from 10 to 11, get gas from 11 to 11:15, go home, clean for 45 minutes, and you have to like keep to the schedule, and that way you can plot your whole day out and like helps you be really productive. But I
definitely don't.
Hunter's not that way. He's just like, whatever.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
which is good.
My schedule is like, I start work at this time and I end at this time, and then like the time outside of that, it's very about like the tasks that are at hand. So with YouTube, it's like in the morning, like if we're gonna shoot before work, like we go do it, and like we know that's the task, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. We gotta shoot because I start work at this time. But like just any brand in general, if they're reaching out to Julia for Julia to do something specific on a channel like a fashion haul or something, obviously I need to know that. I'm not the one receiving the email, but Julia kind of translates that to me.
Yeah.
And then I know like how to structure my time before or after work so we can get those things done.
Right. Or, like shoot that stuff. And,
yeah.
Like, hold me accountable. Okay, next question is, we're gonna order some more drinks, but finding and following passions.
What is it?
Finding and following passions, like how do you do that in goal setting? Okay. Finding and following passions is a hard one. I feel like we just kind of hit this like stage of our life where we like actually are going after passions. One being YouTube for sure. But I think it takes a lot of encouragement from like each other, or like tell your friends and family so that they can like encourage you in whatever you want to do if you don't know what that is. And I would also recommend, if you don't know what your passion is, just trying a bunch of stuff. Like you can't just sit there stagnant and like and expect like it to just fall in your lap. Like you need to go after things, and you'll like create a journey for yourself. So you know, work at this store, work at that company, do this internship, get this apprenticeship, and just try a bunch of different stuff. Even if you don't like it, you realize within that, oh, I don't like this. Or you learn one thing one day on the job and you're like, this is what I want to do. But you won't know unless you're putting yourself out there.
And trying things, like fail. If you have like a passion or desire to do something, one, go for it, like Julia said. But also like, don't rely on other people to tell you what your passion is or isn't. So don't just sit around and wait for someone to tell you what your passion is. Like, you know what your passion is. Like, you know things that you want to do, and they're not going to be your passion until you actually do them.
Even if you're not even good at it, like, but you like it, makes you happy.
Do what you enjoy.
Then do it. Can we get another round of, I think there's on the rocks this
on the
time.
rocks?
Yeah.
Yeah, and can we get more chips as well?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And salsa. No problem. Thank you. So don't just like sit around and wait for someone to tell you to go for it. Like, just believe in yourself and go for it. Also, when you do go for it, don't let other people tell you you shouldn't be going for that. Like, don't let other people dictate what you are passionate or not passionate about. Like, be yourself. Like, be you and go for what you desire.
I think that's another thing. It's like, yes, while you like need encouragement from people that love you and care about you, it's also you like really have to let go of what people think if you're getting like opinions and judgment from other people. Like, I know starting YouTube, I've like had so many people judge me and say things about it, like all the different sorts of things you guys could probably never imagine because you guys like watching YouTube videos. But I had to literally just like push through that and be like, I don't care, like I love this and like I know that it's fun and I'm gonna do it.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Just like trust yourself. I think that's the biggest thing, is like, how do you go for a passion and make it happen? You just like go for it and make it happen.
I know, but it's easy for you to say because you do believe in yourself. I know. And I like would have never started this channel if it weren't for you believing in me.
There's also gonna be like haters regardless of what you do.
Right.
Like, regardless.
Okay. Next question. You should talk more about how you guys settled down and the struggles you faced during your relationship and how you guys overcame it.
Wait, read that again. I was thinking about the previous questions too.
How we settled down and the struggles we faced in our relationship and how we overcame them.
How we settled down. Okay. Go ahead.
Hunter and I met in college. We were pretty young. I think we both weren't really like, we were both relationship people. We kind of both wanted, I don't know, we didn't really crave like some crazy life, single bachelor or bachelorette life that just wasn't us.
We were both like single in college for a time period, but when we met, like that was like around the time where we were both like kind of ready to like, I don't know, I think we like subconsciously wanted to take life seriously. I don't think we knew.
Well, and I think too, like I had been with previous boyfriends and you girlfriends, and it was like, I feel like if you're not with the right person, you would feel nervous about settling down.
Yeah. And I feel like when you do find the right person, you just kind of, you take it seriously. Like you take the relationship seriously. So settling down, like a lot of people say settling down is like when you just decide to like, you know, get a house, move in together, get married. But really it's like you get married and then like you just kind of naturally settle down because you're on the same page and you're trying to like, you're a family at that point.
I mean, we knew we wanted to be together forever. When we met each other, we knew like that was it. There wasn't going to be anyone else. Like we couldn't live without each other. So we're like, why would we wait to get married when we just know we're going to be together anyways? Like we can get married and we don't need to have kids for a while. We can be young still and do all the things we want to do, but be married, that's fine.
Yeah. And that's like, yeah, I think a lot of people think like when you get married, like your life's over, you settle down, or when you have a kid, your life's over and you settle down. It's like, I don't think neither one of those are true. I mean, we are definitely gonna have kids in the near future, but we don't look at it as like our life is over when we have kids. Like, no, like we're still gonna be YouTubing. We're still gonna be doing the same thing, like still gonna be traveling and doing the things that we desire to do. and you make it work with with your situation. And when you get married, the same thing. It's not like your life is over when you get married and you're like strapped down with someone. It's like you get married and you like pursue a fun life together.
You guys are best friends. If you think like, oh, when I get married, I'm like never gonna be able to like go out again, or, like go out with the girls or whatever.
You don't desire to though. You desire
to. But one, you'll go out together, like you can do crazy stuff together, and it's more fun.
Yeah.
Or you'll have time where like you go with your girlfriends, he goes with his guy friends, and like it's fine.
Yeah, and you build the trust. You build the trust where like it's okay doing that. Like it's okay for Julia to go to dinner with her girlfriends and like maybe go have drinks afterward. Like whatever. It's not a big deal. Like your life isn't over.
Yeah. Okay, struggles that we went through and how we overcame them. We've definitely had our fair share of struggles, and they were before we got married, mostly.
Yeah.
Lots of, I think when you first get in a relationship, it's really hard because you're learning the other person. They come from a completely different background than you, completely different upbringing. Everything is different, and you really need like a couple of years to like really get to know that person. I think it takes like a really long time. So for the first couple of years, you're like, why are you doing this? And where does this come from? And you're learning like tons of like things about each other and having deep conversations about their childhood, your childhood, like.
And that doesn't mean like you can't get married before those 2 years.
No.
You get like, even when you get married though, like you're constantly getting to know your spouse. So like we're still getting to know each other. Like I still find things like find out like little things and quirks about Julia that she does, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. She handled that situation that way or whatever. And then like sometimes I'm maybe combative with someone and she's like, Hunter, that's not you. Like,
what's one thing that you learned about me that surprised you?
Well, I've always known that you like kind of like go into your shell, but I feel like over time you learn why, or like you understand like why you behave a certain way versus like not necessarily the behaviors themselves. It's not like you do like a new behavior, but like based on certain quirks and behaviors and like me getting to know you, know your background or your family.
You'll know why that's
you
happening.
Understand like, oh, I get that person. I think you learn things about your partner forever. Like I think you always continue to grow. Like a relationship gets stronger over time. And also like before you get married, you obviously like people fight, people argue.
Yes.
And
that's us.
I think when you know it's the right person, you're not arguing with like the break in mind.
How can we make this work and find a compromise?
Like,
how can we understand each other?
Or like your fights are passionate because you're like, I love you so much, and like I don't understand why this is happening or why you're doing this or whatever.
Yeah.
And that stuff happens, and you like.
I think too, like a lot of, if you are going through struggles in your relationship, it can be like really frustrating, and you can easily get like heated where you're like, you know, sometimes we've been in fights and we like throw out daggers at each other, like really mean things that are like super personal that you just are not. Don't do that because it's really hurtful and it like really hurts the other person's feelings.
It's definitely happened in every relationship.
Every relationship.
No matter whether you admit it or not, like.
But it's
happened in
not okay to do, and it's every time that we're in those, if we're in a heated discussion and either of us goes there, we're like, hey, like, don't do that. Let's not go there because you never mean what you're saying in that moment, and it's just super sad. So, anyways, so what does this say is if you're going through a struggle and you're just not finding that understanding with that person, like you have to allow yourself time to like not get angry when you're trying to talk to them. And if you really care about them, what you should do is sit down and just be like, hey, like, what is going on? Like, what is the real problem? What am I doing that is like hurting you so badly? Or where is this coming from? Like, let's figure out where, like, what the root actually is, and let's work through it together because I love you and I don't want this to continue to happen.
Yeah.
You have to like care about how, like, the actual state of like their heart and like how they feel, and know that it's just it's transpiring into an aggressive behavior or anger or something like that.
So like it comes down to communication.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, communication's kind of key. Everyone has their faults, but like if you can communicate with each other and like work through them together, you're good.
Like even today, Hunter and I got in an argument, and it was just like about nothing. I don't know. I was like in a mood, and you know, he was kind of like frustrated and I was frustrated, and we were like kind of like being pissy towards each other, and then
I was
finally,
so frustrated with her, you have no idea.
Finally, he was just like, hey, what's going on? Like, and I just started crying, and I was like, oh, this is what's going on, I love you, and I just need help. Anyway, and it was fine, but like it just takes a minute to get there, and you just, if you can be mature enough to get to that step, your relationship will be better too. You don't want to fight.
Right.
Like, don't be immature and don't fight. Like,
it's annoying, but it's healthy.
It is healthy, but like, just try to care about the person and make it better, you know? Everyone gets mad, but just don't stay in it for too long. Okay.
Give us a few tips about life after college.
Oh my god.
We've said this before, actually. Life after college is something that means a lot to us. It was something we thought about a lot and something we took very seriously. And I actually credit that time period for us of like really what kind of like got us to where we are today, because we took it so serious.
Totally.
It's a scary time.
And it's normal if you're graduating and like you feel weird, like it's so normal. Literally the biggest transition you'll ever go through.
It's a really weird feeling, and it's just like, you're on your own, bye. And like, our parents, like, we were blessed enough where my parents and like your parents like helped us out. Like, we live with both of them. Like, we lived with my parents for 7 months.
Yeah.
And we lived with your parents when we moved from Texas to California for like 3 months. And so
I forgot about that.
Our parents like both helped us out when we were making transitions, like college to real life, and then like real life in Texas to real life in California, and like kind of helping us get our feet on the ground. But at the same time, we still took that time very serious, and like took like finding a job very serious. And it's not about job and money or anything like that. It's like, it's about finding something that finding your way and finding something that you're happy with
and getting established. Like, it's kind of a shock, because you probably, your parents, like for us, our parents were paying all our bills in college. We weren't really working because Hunter was playing sports and I had a scholarship, so we were both like being supported by our families full time.
We're busy in school,
and so it's just surprising, like when you get out and you have to make a salary and go to work every day and you have to pay for everything, and it's just like, it'll be really shocking, but it's just time to put your big girl pants on or your big boy pants on and just like,
go for it.
This is time to be an adult. And I promise it's not that bad. Like, it's super fun when you get to control everything in your life, because you get to make all the decisions, because you make your own money, you support yourself, and you literally get to like create your life and like, you know, put it, like mold it into whatever you want to be, find your passions, find new friends. Like, it's super fun, so don't be scared. It's just, you gotta go and like go after it and like try things and get jobs, and you're gonna have to work hard, and it's gonna feel a little bit weird for a while, but you'll get there.
Yep. And it's like a lot of the questions we see are like, how do we do something that makes us happy? Or like, how do we go for that? And you know, we are at a point where we're like, I would say like we're pretty happy with like where our life is at and like what we're doing. We're happy people.
But it wasn't always that way.
And it wasn't that way though. It wasn't
both worked a couple of jobs that like we really didn't like.
We are happy now, and like we're still not satisfied. Like, we still always have like a next goal. Like, we enjoy chasing goals. We enjoy that. It's fun. We get to work together.
Totally.
But
and it's healthy to work, I think.
The happiness we have now and like the passions that we're pursuing, we're able to do that now because we went through the mud. Like, you have to go and get an internship. Like, whether it's like, if you're a sophomore in college, a freshman in college, a junior in college, the summers in between each year, go get internships. Or go travel.
Highly recommend.
Like, either go travel somewhere or get an internship. Both are great experiences that will help you in your career. But do something. Also, if you are a senior in college and you're about to graduate, get an internship after you graduate. Like, don't expect that you're gonna have your dream job right when you graduate.
And you might not want to like get the internships, but you will be so happy when you graduate. You're gonna be like, I've tried 3 different internships through each summer of college, and like, I know exactly what I want to start in now. Or you'll have a job already at one of those companies and you can literally just go in there. Trust me, that's way better than graduating college and not knowing what you're gonna do and stressing out about trying to figure it out then, when like it feels much harder. Just get ahead of it and do something, and like, you'll meet friends working for companies. It's fun. It's so fun.
Yep. And a lot of times, like, people are always asking you like how you got a job at Sephora specifically, and like how, you know, how to go about doing stuff like that, or like what my job is and how I got my job and all kinds of stuff like that. One, it's like not being scared to go for it, and like just putting yourself out there and being confident in yourself. Like, you know, fake it till you make it kind of thing. I know that sounds cheesy, but like, be overly confident in yourself. And utilize like.
What is
honestly,
there to lose?
honestly, like
Nothing.
a good tip that I have if you want to go get an internship, use LinkedIn. Like really use LinkedIn, and like if you have a company, let's say you want to go work for Neiman Marcus corporate or Nordstrom corporate or something like that. Go find the recruiters on LinkedIn that are at Nordstrom, that are at Neiman Marcus, and reach out to them and say like, hey, give them your situation. Like, hey, I'm a student, I'm a junior in college, and this summer I want to work for you guys and have an internship. Do y'all have an internship program?
Be eager.
Yeah, be eager and like don't just reach out and like wait for someone to offer you something.
It's like closed mouths don't get fed, and it's so true. And I used to be like that too. I would get crippled with like nervousness and like shyness and like, oh my god, I can't, and like Hunter's helped me a lot with that. Just like go for it, and then the minute that I ask and speak up and like something good happens, I'm like, oh, okay, that wasn't so bad.
And it's
so,
not
like,
it's not scary when like the results are good, and it's not scary when the results are bad. It's like, oh shit, that didn't work.
It's so weird how like you are so like, I think that's such an interesting thing about me is that how nervous I am of like talking to people or reaching out to people or asking for things, and you are not like that at all. Like I can't imagine what that would feel like to live a life where you're just not afraid of anything. You're not fearful of getting shut down.
Yeah, I'm not scared of failure, but if you want to go into sales, like don't be scared to get shut down because you will get shut down.
Totally.
I mean, that's like,
I could never do.
That's kind of like the gig of a salesperson is that you get shut down a lot until now. But yeah, after college, like, it's not gonna happen right away. Like set yourself up for when you're 26, 27, 30. Like start thinking about that now. Don't think about what's my life gonna look like the latter half of this year. It's like, no, set a goal for yourself in the future and like do what you need to do to pursue that.
Okay, so we have like literally hundreds of questions, but I think we maybe have time for like one more, and then this video is literally gonna be a feature film. So the next one I feel like kind of goes with the theme is how have your strengths helped you succeed and how have your faults hindered you? Oh my god, I can totally answer this. We should order shots.
Okay.
So I would say for me, my weaknesses have been, if anything, like not like believing in myself enough. Like I don't know. I'm like a confident person, but I'm really insecure in a lot of ways, like in my ability to like do things or like with creativity. Like we're both really creative people, but like I beat myself up about like my like art, like videos and pictures. I'm like they're not good enough, or like that has held me back in terms of like I get too caught up in things and I'm like it's not good enough versus just like enjoying it and letting go. I think, and psychologically, I don't know if I've really worked through this, but like, I always was like, I was afraid to go after a YouTube channel forever. I wanted to do it for so long, and I just didn't have the courage, I think, to do it. And when I met Hunter, he was like, you should totally do it, and like, that's basically why I ended up starting it and why I continue to do it every day, because I question it all the time. I'm like, nobody likes me, or this isn't good, like nobody's learning anything from this, like it's stupid, why should I even do it? And he's like, no, like you have it all wrong, you're delusional, like that's not the situation. And so you just need somebody that I think can like, those are all just projections in your head that you like make up of your weaknesses, I would say, and you have to like overcome them and just like have somebody that pushes you and like loves you through them and like helps you see that like you're finishing up.
Yeah, and I definitely think we were that for each other, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Like even things like I go through all the time, or like things that I went through like when we were in college and deciding like what I wanted to do when I graduated and like what I wanted to pursue or like what I'm good at. Like I definitely had moments where I graduated as a new job and I was like just unhappy. And then I'd come home and like I'm miserable. But you take action on those things, and like Julia was kind of my encouragement to do that. We definitely are the gap fillers of each other's strengths and weaknesses for sure.
Yeah.
Like I think where you fall short, like we've talked about this before. Like,
yeah.
I can pick you up and vice versa. They're in very different ways and situations, but you both learn how to like be that for each other.
I think your strengths are that you have like no fears of like, you don't like question who you are. Like you never ever question it. Like you're just like, and you're not afraid of like people accepting you or not accepting you. You literally don't care.
I do. I care about what people think.
Yeah, because you want them, I think it comes from the perspective though that you want them to feel loved. So you are like, I care what they think because I want them to think that I care about them. But you're not caring what their opinion of you is. I think that the fact that you are like, don't really care what people think, like that gives you a lot of confidence like in your sales job and has allowed you to try a lot of things. Like you are, for one, like your outgoingness like really helped you with like interviewing after college. I feel like that would have crippled me with like fear because I'm like a more insecure person and I would have been like, oh my god, like so terrified and like I like throw up before interviews. I get so scared, but like you were like, whatever, they're fine. Like, just go in. When they don't like me, they don't like me. It's fine.
But that also comes like with practice. Like I went to over like 60 interviews my senior year of college, and I like.
You were like
failed some of them like miserably. You fail, like it takes practice.
Can we get 2 shots of tequila?
Yeah, what kind?
Do you have Casamigos?
Yes.
Reposado?
We'll do that.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Like
We don't have reposado, just blanco.
Blanco?
That's fine.
That's fine. But I try things,
Yes.
I recognize that I can do them, and I'm like, okay, I'm confident.
I think you have like a lack of fear, which is a really good strength.
Maybe that's where it really comes.
And I, on the other side, live in fear. So I'd say that's one of my weaknesses and what's held me back from so much. Like I would love to know like all the things I could do if like I wasn't so scared of everything.
Both of us actually don't like taking shots, and we never do. But we figured
That'd be cute.
we do it on Spritz and Chips. Then we got Casamigos, which is owned by George Clooney, or was. I think it got bought.
Yeah, you do that. Oh, thank you. Okay. Want some?
No.
You don't want any?
No. Cheers.
Oh.
Anyways, we were talking about strength and weaknesses.
Okay, so what would be like an uplifting recommendation? So, I think for me, what's been most important is finding friends and like family and loved ones that can like either one, point out your strengths and weaknesses, and two, like encourage you in them in a nice way. Like
In a constructive, criticizing way.
like I'm gonna tell you this because I think you'll be happier.
Yeah, it's helpful hearing those things from an unbiased perspective,
Right.
outside of just a situation.
I always learned that too much.
In a
Chandler
nice-
told me that.
What?
He was like, you're in a marriage, he's like, if you're in the middle of a fight or you see your husband or your wife do something in the moment, like let's say I, am having a meltdown about something, and like that, in the moment of that meltdown is not the right time to be like, you always do this and this is such, like you pull this all the time, like I can't stand it. No, the next day when everything's blown over and you're having coffee at breakfast and everything is great, you'd be like, hey, I just want to let you know. Something I thought I'd point out that I think would be really helpful and might make you a happier person is I thought this was like really interesting how you handled that situation, and I think you could have done maybe this better, or it's an opportunity for you, but it's choosing the right time to say that.
Also, fights aren't the moments to bring up previous moments either. So like if you see me do something and you keep your mouth shut and then we're fighting later, you don't just say like, oh, and by the way, you did this 3 days ago. And
I know, and it's just mean.
that's mean. It's like you use it for ammo in a fight, so you can be like the winner of the fight.
Don't be immature when you fight, just tell the person how you're really feeling.
And I'm speaking based on my experience. Like I used to do that to Julia a lot probably when we'd argue. And I probably still do on occasion. But it's something like you're aware of and I'm aware of, and like we will find it together.
We have really different fighting styles.
We do. Mine's way better.
Ours are both dysfunctional in different ways.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah. I'm just a confrontational person.
You're
so mine is-
confrontational, and I like to like crawl in a turtle shell.
and kind of like hide. She definitely puts a wall up. I'm more like, hey, let's tackle this now because I don't want to be fighting like about the same thing tonight. Like I
But
want to like
I'm
tackle
so
it.
easy. Like if you literally come to me and you're like, I love you, I'm sorry, I'm like, okay, great.
Right, but I'm not always in the mindset to do that. I'm sometimes frustrated too.
I know. And so if I come to you and I'm like so scared of being rejected, that is weird. I'm starting to see that as a theme for me. Why am I so scared of being rejected by people? I'm scared. That's why I'm holding back in our fights too. Like the reason, like you're always like, why don't you ever come to me? And like say like, hey, I'm sorry, or like in the fight, you're not the one to make the first move because I'm scared that you're gonna be like, get away from me, I don't care. And it's the same thing why I'm not like outgoing to people.
Because
Like,
I think you're a confident person, but you try to control your confidence by not like being like rejected. Maybe, yeah, I have no idea. That's a good question.
Weird, right? That's
Strength and weaknesses are something like everyone has. Everyone
we're human.
develops them as well, and you don't always know them. Like you don't always recognize them. And it's nice to hear people tell you what they are. Like hear people say like, it's nice to hear people say like, hey, like, you know, I noticed this about you. Like it's nice to hear someone bring that up to you and like, you know, someone like that's like unbiased or someone that's like there to actually love and care and help you with something that you're going through or whatever. Like listen to people when they tell you things and like hear them out, but still like be yourself and make those decisions and like work through them in your way. Like that you know best of like how to work through those things. But from a strength perspective, it's like figure out your strength based on trying things, and then once you understand and kind of like feel like you have a strength, like use it in whatever way you desire to pursue your passions.
I think this is the last question that Spritz Chips can handle because it's probably like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It's literally been like we're Steven Spielberg with his mind.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Y'all leave like so many nice
You
comments.
guys are
that-
so nice.
Literally so nice, and y'all don't have to be, and we just really appreciate it.
I know. We said that after Vlogmas. We're like, we have so many friends.
We have so many friends.
So exciting.
Yeah, we like want to do like we want to start doing meetups at some point because
Meetups.
like
We hang out with you guys.
we want to meet
It's
everybody.
fun.
We love all of you guys. Thank you for leaving comments and being so sweet all the time. We really appreciate it, and we're excited for a very awesome, amazing, and productive 2019 and getting to know each and every one of you a little bit better.
Yes. Okay, we love you guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Spritz Chips.
Bye.